Okay. Happy December 10th. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, right? So to start off first, let me just delete this tab. To start off first, how much did we make today? We made $65,500, right? We made 65,000 fucking dollars, right? So look, a few things I want to say in this video. What's crazy is that, say that you think this is fake, right? Well, at one point, and I got in this trade. You look at my time, right? I hope you guys can see it because it is below my little gray window here as I'm recording it. So this is 6:17 a.m. PST, right? The New York market session opening is at 6:30 a.m. So yes, I do trade pre-market, and I've been trading for about almost 9 years, right? This December 27th will mark 9 years worth of trading for me. And I've kind of been through a lot. I have juggled through a lot of different type of markets, from penny stocks to options to even to real estate to back to traditional investments, which was where I did make a little bit success, but still got back into penny stocks. And then I was trying to make options work because options, man, it's very lucrative. However, it's also a game of hot potato if you don't know how to do it right. But anyways, then I got into Forex, right? So futures, Forex, it's the same stuff. A lot of people always want to compare those two. You're just bumping heads with each other, I promise. The only thing that's the difference between futures and Forex is the form of execution and leverage, right? Now, a lot of people who trade futures, typically it's people who are in prop firms. Now, I'm not, none of this is obviously legal advice. It's just obviously my opinion, right? I don't trust anybody who trades on a prop firm. You can show me unless if you have a payout, then sure, but anybody who doesn't have a payout from a prop firms make trading even more stressful, and trading itself is already extremely stressful. Please try to understand that before you sign up with a prop firm, right? Now I think it's what, 70, 80, $90 for just to buy an eval. And then now there's monthly fees, and I don't know, there's so many fees. And if you can't make you can't have too much in drawdown, you can't make too much in profit. I mean, I passed the eval in one day, and I blew my funded the next day because I made too much of a fucking profit. What bullshit is that? All right, so I failed because I did too good. I'm sorry. So look at my Discord. I even posted my investment policy. I'm a legally, federally licensed investment equity officer, right? So I trade for a primary federal bank in the United States of America. That's a very, very, very prestigious job that nobody understands. Now, with all that to say you don't trust my profits, right? Well, here, let me walk you through everything. But again, right before we talk about TradingView, before we talk about what happened this morning, I just wanted you guys to peep my Discord, right? So every morning, right after after we're done trading, you can see it. This is the name of the I know I'm gonna get backslash, but this is the name of my Discord, right? This is where I make all my YouTubes, and I post the links over here. We have a chat. Look, we have a gym chat. We also have eats. We even have some more actually. I should have pressed an arrow, anyways. And then we have a VC, a voice chat, right? Where we talk about all these things, where we break down our trades. Look, one person was actually, we nicknamed him, but he was actually talking about his trading view, his setup, his trade, whatnot. And, just look how many people we have in here. This is on a daily basis from Monday through Friday, right? If it's not a bank holiday, then we're trading. We're all trading. Maybe some people will decide to sit out depending on their strategy, depending on perspective, whatever the case may be, but we're all in here, right? Look, another thing too, somebody ended up, this is a trading view. This is on trading view, right? So this is somebody's chart. He drew this. 10 out of 10 drawing, bro. 10 out of 10 drawing. But anyways, all that just to say, let me zoom out. All that just to say, don't hate. All right. That's the last one. Say if you don't believe these profits, don't hate. Hating will never, never, never get you anywhere. it's funny. One of my Discord friends, he also looked at this guy's profit. Next thing you know, he basically asked a girl out just because she looked hot on on her birthday profile picture on Instagram or Discord or something like that in a public server. I don't know what was the case. He told me. And he wrote a whole paragraph. So I don't want somebody who basically jerks off to leave me this type of feedback. I don't really appreciate that. But his history. Oh no, it's on YouTube. This is on YouTube. You can basically see everybody's comments by clicking their handle. So he saw a girl dancing on TikTok or something like that. She posted a video on YouTube, and he basically shot his shot. That's pathetic. And then you have that piss poor energy coming back onto people who are actually teaching educational video, right? So look, you don't have to believe this. You don't have to believe this, but I'll walk you through it. But this is all from an educational standpoint, right? I don't offer no services. I have absolutely nothing that has a price tag associated to it. Nothing, nada, nothing, right? So let's walk through it. This was my setup. Again, 13 minutes pre-market, right? I actually jumped in a minute before I took the screenshot, right? Just because I was like, you know what? This is actually great. A lot of people have been calling me a scammer left and right. It's because they take losses and then somebody over here is making good profit. Again, guys, I work for a bank. Do you think if I make less money than this, I'll be able to keep my fucking prestigious job? No. Even for banks, for employees, I work in as an investor officer, equity officer too, right? So what that means is that it's not like the entry position for investments for this bank. It's the middle, because then there's a third department which you have to bare minimum make 6 figures every single day, right? For me, I'm not going to disclose what's my required amount. However, this is an average day for my work account. Now, my higher days would be 6 figures. Now, when I'm doing this for a bank, when I'm doing this for a firm, when I'm doing this for somebody else, yes, using their capital, why can't I do this for myself, right? If I've been doing this repeatedly over and over successfully, weeks, right? Days, then weeks, then months, and then years, right? I've been working at this bank for a few years now. Why can't I do it for myself? Why can't I do it by myself, for the sake of claiming all 100% of this profit, rather than at work I would just make a small, tiny percent of this in commissions. So just think about that, right? So here it is. Not am I just doing it for the company, but I'm also doing it for myself. Now, a lot of people would be like, oh, he's an insider trader, right? RZ Day Trader 103 is an insider trader. Because since I work for the banks, I also have book maps, order flows. What's the other? Oh, it's a heat map, right? Of each company and each stock. Now, all 3 of these gadgets, technology, are extremely lucrative and as well expensive. Not really accessible to the public eye, right? But here's the thing, and I'll be brutally honest. I honestly feel like I don't have that second factor. Aside from the charts, I don't have another thing holding me back or basically stressing me, so I feel free. And then not to mention, I'm still on vacation, so I feel free. I feel free like a bird. I'm just spreading my wings. I look at the charts and I'm just placing the trade on my phone or my laptop, my other laptop, right? So here it is, guys. This is my trade, 30 minutes in, or 30 minutes before market opening. Next thing you know, after 2 minutes of entering, I immediately got a flush, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I adjusted my stop loss. Again, guys, I did not manually take each of these trades. It's a multiplier, so every time I open a sell or a buy, when I click one button, there's multiple accounts that should be opening. It should have been, how much is this? It should have been 10, because I was trading with 5 lots, meaning there should be 100 lots, but 5 trades per buy per sell, right? So there should be 10 over here. It's not 10, I already know that much, but I did leave some open. And then, that stuff, that latency for that automation does lag, whatever. But anyways, I think this actually is 9 trades. But anyways, I panicked, right? I did close out. And the next thing you know, you guys can see it here. I took out even more sells. Look at the timestamp, guys, right? Look at the timestamp. I took more trades. Yes, offshore brokers means that it's a different time, right, compared to mine. But look at the minute, right? It's still like over here, 16, 16, 25, 25, 30. At market opening, I took even more sells because she retraced and then she dropped, right? So let me just show you on a bigger time frame. On a bigger chart. But ideally, whatever I did show over here, it ended up happening exactly what I wanted to, right? But the thing is, I took profits way too early, and I'll break it in onto the bigger chart, right? So let's replay it to show you exactly what had happened, right? Let's show you guys. I'll show you guys even the pre-market where I'd entered. So just to reiterate, now we came up, flush, came up, flush, and we bounced off and we had this nasty pump, right? Now, when we came back down with this massive candle, I don't know why that candle had done, but it doesn't make a difference, it doesn't matter. It came back up and it was basically holding this, right? Every time when she came back down, she basically came back up to retest and then she flushed. And now we basically have the same thing. And notice how this, again, we're on a 15-minute time frame. We do not look at any other time frame. She closed right below this. Now I did zoom in a little bit and I was like, I want to see NAS 100. I want to see her touch this, just a small wick, because she's right on my zone. And I was like, at the same time, I was like, she could be holding right here. She could be holding right here, right here, right here. Look at this, right? Look at this. It doesn't become any easier. Listen to, please get this through your guys' mind. Listen to somebody who has been trading for a long time successfully, right? It doesn't matter whether I make $1 in profit or even whether that's $100 or fucking $65,000 in profit. It does not make a difference. A win is a win. And please, you guys have to let that marinate in your mind and just truly understand the concept. A win is a win. And as long as you followed all your rules, you deserve a pat on the back, right? So all these things, and then next thing you know, she just wicked it. The moment she wicked it, that's when I had entered, right? That's the screenshot right over here, right? It should have been 10 cells, and I think I left 1 or 2 as a runner because my stop loss didn't adjust on those. It is what it is. And then it's okay. I was not exactly freaking out. I was just like, why is this thing so choppy, right? So believe it or not, in the span of 15 minutes, she dropped, came back up. That's when it closed me for $10,000. And next thing you know, she dropped back again. I remember I did get in and I didn't adjust my stops, even though I should have, because at this point I was up another 22, 30 something $1,000. And look what had happened. This is why I adjust my stop loss to break even or to secure some profits. I did not. I went from fucking something, it was like 22 to 30,000, and it just happened so fast. It went from all that to being down almost $4,300, just because when I entered, flushed, it came back up. But then that's when I entered more cells, and next thing you know, I was going pretty balls deep. I did risk a good amount of my capital on the next amount of cells. And I wrote this, right? I wanted to see this basically break this. Now, here's the thing. It basically touched this, and next thing you know, it had wicked, right? So if I go on a 1 minute time frame just to show you guys, and this looks messy. It basically, if you guys could see this, it came down and these wicks. So I literally got scared and I just closed out. I did panic close, right? But you guys can see it. Remember, I entered cells. It was right here. I entered cells here. 10,000 over here, took profit. My stops got hit right here. And then I entered cells again over here. Did not adjust my stop loss. She came down, made even more profit. I was really hoping this thing would just fucking flush, but this piece of shit had fucking retested. Not my entry, but my entry was a little bit below this wick, like probably right here. So it broke, past it and I was fucking 43 in red in drawdown. And next thing you know, she had just dropped. And don't make a damn mistake, when she dropped like a fucking rock. So when, and let me just clear this up so it's not super messy. When I did re-enter for a sell, it was already in the blues. It was already in the blues. I probably had got filled in right here, but even when she dropped, it was a 17 fucking second trade, because when she had dropped from after I got filled for sell, she just dropped, right? It was just crazy. So look, when you follow your rules and when you can read, I don't care who has what strategy. I truly don't. But because every strategy has rules, every strategy has different, scenarios, different benefits, different so and so, whatever. I do not care. But if you have to go on a different time frame, a much smaller time frame, there's probably the probability of it being, honestly, I don't even know how I'm trying to say this. I just generally just don't think strategies with smaller time frames, like fair value gaps or IFVG, in fair, whatever those words even mean. We have never heard those words in our investment offices, in our departments. If big firms have never heard those fucking words, then why are you guys even trying to learn and waste your time on those little piece of shit concepts, right? So I've been doing this for so long, and it just stresses me just to see how people are being brainwashed into learning things that just generally do not matter, right? What are you going to do? You're going to learn all those piece of shit concepts for months, multiple years, practice just to make $100, just to make $200, just to make $300 in the course of what, few minutes? So it's not going to get you profits like this, right? Again, I'm not here to put anybody on blast. It's always love. It's always supposed to be, I come here in peace. I do. I will always shake people's hand, even if I'm in the wrong. But at the end of the day, everybody has the same goal. It's to come in to the markets, be loving, be peaceful, being welcomed, and welcoming others, right? Welcoming others to the space, to the community. Just make our money, shake each other's hands, party, drink, enjoy, go on vacations, live, laugh, and love each other, and just call it a damn day, right? So take care of your loved ones, and then just enjoy the remainder of the day. So that's what we do. That's what I do. I'm not really interested in dissing like this piece of shit who watches porn and fucking thinks he can get married. He literally asked a girl just to get married, dude. Fake trader alert. So look, you can believe whatever you want. I just broke down my trade. Maybe numbers may lie, because pictures definitely could lie, right? With AI, I don't blame anybody for asking, send proof, this and that. But you can't take away this, right? You can't take away the fact that I literally signaled this. Look at the time frame. Look at the time. 6:17, 13 minutes pre-market. You can't lie. And then it ended up doing exactly what I fucking signaled, right? Maybe I didn't signal. That word shouldn't have tossed it so loosely like that. But you can't lie. It did exactly what I intended it to do, and it did much better, right? I was just expecting, look, 641 from my resistance to my ultimate TP zone. That's what, 41 plus 8 points. 51 points. 51 points? If we're trading this like a year, 2 years ago, I would have never caught that much. Even 25, 30 points, my whole basically life was so much fucking points. Because I'm trading big lots, right? But, geez, dude, this is unbelievable. There's so much money on the table. Everybody can eat. I even asked my Discord, if basically if people want me to send signals, right? If people want me to send signals. But just so people here, right? People look at my profits. I'm like, everyone, give me your honest feedback and opinions. Now, a lot of people, actually, some people said no, some people said yes. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna bang my head against the wall because this part is for other people, right? When you're close to me, when you're nice to me, when you're loving and respectful to me and can shake my hand through every disagreement or agreement, whatever the case may be, but we can walk together, walk it off, then I'm willing to do my best, try my best to help whoever, right? But you gotta meet me in the middle one way or the other, right? So, um, it is what it is. I literally said it. Why give signals? Are we gonna improve by this? Um, I just said it straight up. Some of y'all genuinely cannot trade to save your dearest life, and that shit just sinks my heart. Um, so look, I said everything. I said everything. Um, as always, I'm just amazed. This is just some great profit, dude. Yesterday was banger. The day before that, every day I'm making more profits. Day by day, I'm making more profits than the day before, right? So, uh, tomorrow, I'm officially 13 days green. Tomorrow would mark officially 2 weeks green, but who knows? Who knows? So, don't want to get too ahead of myself, but at the same time, guys, I'm going to end it here. If you watch this video, um, drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment. I will be picking one person. If you watch this whole video, I will be picking one person to PayPal $50 to. Right? It's going to be anonymous, but you have to drop a comment. Drop a comment, drop a like, please. Right? So, and it could be any comment. It could be anything. It could literally be a simple letter like H or even a number. It doesn't matter. It helps the algorithm, right? So I'll give $50. Must be through PayPal. PayPal, please, PayPal. So as always, guys, peace, love, and cheers. And thank you so much for sticking around and showing me love. Thank you.